sun is shining. What do you think? Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Look at that, one step at a time. Wow. Is that you getting old, Steve? Steve, you're not getting old. You're only 3. T-Rex, I don't know, 7. What's that, middle-aged? With the spirit of a puppy. And then TK, I'm in my 7th decade. 69 degrees outdoors, 66 degrees indoors. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. No, I'm not. Just about 9:30, November 6th, and Accurate says there's a chance of rain. I guess there's a chance. There's always a chance of something. There's a chance you're not going to be able to hear me very well over the wind. It takes a lot of moving air to push the temperature to 80 degrees on November 6th, but that's what's happening. Seems like we're living in the bizarro world, doesn't it? Everything seems left is right, up is down, black is white. I went to bed last night, and it wasn't a total blowout when I fell asleep. They were only down 2-0, 2 original NHL teams battling it out in Toronto, and it was worse than I thought. I woke up in the middle of the night, and the Bruins were shut out by the Maple Leafs. 0 Bruins, 4 Maple Leafs. And then I wake up to this temperature. I happened to be up at 4 a.m. and I looked at the temperature map, and I pretty much couldn't believe my eyes. So many places were already 65 to 70 degrees, 2-3 hours before the sun came up. There was one spot there, 39 degrees in Plymouth, New Hampshire. The base of the Mount Washington Auto Road at 4 a.m. was already close to 70. And then let's go to the 9 o'clock Mount Washington observation. Got wind, air on Mount Washington coming in from the southwest at 80 miles per hour. Sustained. There's a hurricane force wind 1 mile up in the sky. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. And we have a November 1026 millibar Bermuda high pressure system. And we've got about 1,000 millibar low pressure system, a wave on the front near Caribou, Maine this morning. So it's a real tight pressure gradient, but it's even tighter pressure gradient up in the sky with some seasonable cold trying to push into southeastern Canada, and off the charts record warm coming up the east coast ahead of a front that stretches now from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. And the front is going to be attenuating, stretching out, diminishing as it crosses New England. So we'll get an air change of the air, but we won't get much precipitation with this coming through here. It has been quite a few days of weather in the middle of the country where that boundary is kind of stalled. Flooding rains, deadly flooding rain in Missouri yesterday. And then on the west side of that, it's snowing. It's snowing right down to the streets of Denver, Colorado. You know Alex Kaufman? He was with me at Ski the East a decade ago. Met him at Sunday River in Killington like 30 years ago. Anyway, he moved to Boulder, Colorado, and he just hikes up near his house with his plastic skis with no edges. And you know him from X as Weird Foothill Guy. And he's right out there in his neighborhood skiing this morning on a half a foot of new snow just west of Denver. So it always balances out. There's going to be record warm somewhere, and somewhere else it's going to be cold and snowing. But it just seems we can't shake this warm and dry pattern. Amazing blue sky, considering that this is sort of Indian summer here. When it gets this kind of warm, it's usually kind of hazy and not this windy, in what you call Indian summer, when the temperature goes to record warmth after your first frost. Look at this yellow jacket putting on a show for us. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of confused today, including the bug and animal world. We're going to try and just stick to weather and nature here. And I see some alto cumulus right there. Those are so pretty. Almost Castellanos. I mean, there's a slight chance that we're going to get a little rain shower as this front comes through, but not before. I'm going to get out of the wind as much as I can, although the cat and the dog look so pretty right here. It's worth the wind to look at Steve. anything to calm us down. Steve has got the cat mint going right here. Yes, Steve, want to play with the cat mint? Sure you do. Sure you do. Entertain the viewers. That's your morning buzz, right? Your morning coffee right there. And T-Rex is just like, you can leave me out here all day. I'll be just fine. I'm liking this. All right, the Boston 5-day. It seems like the last 3 weeks in a row, every time we've shown this and talked about a temperature of 75 to 80, somehow it's turned out to be 80 to 85. Now, I don't know if we're going to get to that, 85, but I think we are getting to 80, so definitely record warmth, beating the old record in the mid-70s from just 2 years ago. Most of the records in New England are from 2022 for November 6th. And the thickness rule I use is 562 thickness today, or even higher than that. No, I think it's 569. So if it was summertime, we'd be talking about temperature close to 90 today. But this is November, and we may have some all-time, not only November 6th, but November, the entire month, high temperature records here in the Northeast. A few spots, so we'll talk more about that tomorrow when I look at the records. And there's not much hope for those of us looking for early winter to come in here. I know the Snow Country Ski Expo, Snow Expo, is coming to Hanover. I think it starts tomorrow. So we can at least go to the ski shows and try and get the stoke going, or watch what keeps happening out in the west. Here's the map this afternoon. There's the front kind of decaying over New England. All those black lines over New England, those are isobars, tight pressure gradient, winds gusting past 30. And the green is rain, just kind of scattered showers coming into New England, more thunderstorms along that front, but nowhere near as bad as they've been. And then the blue over Colorado, that's a snowstorm right over Denver. It's about the third snowfall there in the Colorado, New Mexico area in the last 3 days, and there's more on the way. This is that system that was in Montana yesterday. It went to the south. So we have troughing in the west and ridging in the east, and there's no change to this pattern, just brief cool air incursions here in the northeast. So let's just go, well, should we talk about Rafael, the hurricane? Looks like a half a hurricane. If you look at the analysis from the National Hurricane Center, it shows the wind, 10 nautical mile wide eye, and then hurricane force winds of 64 knots extending out about 10 miles or 15 miles to the northeast, 10 miles to the southeast, something like that, and 0 miles to the southwest and the northwest. So in other words, there's only hurricane force wind on the north and east side of this storm. It looks pretty good from a satellite perspective, and if you're in that eastern eye wall in Cuba, you're having a Category 2, borderline Category 3 hurricane today, Cayman Islands to Cuba, and it's so small though, and it's going to keep on moving, and there's actually a hurricane warning in Key West. I think the hurricane is going to be just far enough from Key West. It's not going to have to evacuate the Keys here, and the fact that the center should stay offshore means that they'll probably miss the storm surge. The National Hurricane Center says that's going to go into the central Gulf of Mexico and fall apart. Trying to hide from the wind. Let's do what we did yesterday, hide from the wind. In other words, and you look at the semicircle or the circle in the 5-day forecast for Monday for Hurricane Rafael, and it could be anywhere from the coast of Louisiana to way out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, closer to Mexico. And the Euro is saying it's going to go towards Mexico and fall apart, and the GFS says it's going to go towards Louisiana and fall apart. Now, as far as the weather models go, they're pretty much off the rails. There's no consistency day to day. Yesterday, the GFS had flooding rain coming at us with the remnant of Rafael and another storm next week, and that's completely gone. I didn't even show that because I couldn't take it seriously. And the Euro, even after day 3 or 4, the Euro has been almost useless, but that's what we use. So here is the Euro. All those black lines are isobars, winds gusting past 30 miles an hour today, and you can see the blue lines and the red lines behind the black lines. Those are thickness lines, and you do get the 540 line just kind of settling into northern New England before lifting out. It's a high pressure system coming in over the next 2 days. Looks like it's going to be quite nice around here with more seasonable temperatures, still in the 60s tomorrow, and then in the 50s on Friday, and then a colder front Friday night. And I'm going to stop it again on Saturday, and I'm going to stop it at 5 a.m. this time, because this is about as far south as that 540 line is going to come. And you know, half a week ago it showed a snowstorm in New England on Saturday, and that went away about 3 days ago. And you get the 534 and the 28, those are thickness lines. That's cold enough to make snow in parts of northern New England, but it's coming in so briefly and it's going to lift out so fast. And also at this point, there's another snowstorm in Colorado, and there's Hurricane Rafael down there in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, just kind of sitting there, and it's gradually going to fill from about 988 millibars. Then it's going to gradually weaken and turn west if you watch the Euro, but you can't really see it that well in my perspective, because when I put it back into motion, I crop it so it fills the screen, and you only see southern Canada and most of the lower 48, but not really deep in the Gulf of Mexico. We're doing that now, and there's the high pressure system coming in with more warm air advection. On Sunday, the temperature starts coming up, the wind goes light, and then on Monday, we're getting into more gusty warm air advection. Then we stop it again on Tuesday, and Tuesday, there's another front that looks a lot like this one coming in, and there'll be some colder air, but it's not really gonna penetrate south. And there's more weather over that boundary that seems ever present along the Mississippi River Valley. And you can see Rafael kind of just falling apart there off the coast of Mexico. And there's another front coming in off of Canada into southwestern Canada. And another warm surge coming across the Great Lakes. And they'll put this into motion again. And then we're going to take it out to Thursday and stop it. Now look at that. There's a nice front here with some rain on Thursday. Sure there is. We'll believe that when we see it. I think that's what, the 14th. I'm losing track. Monday's Veterans Day, the 11th. Tuesday, 12. Wednesday, 13. Yeah, Thursday is the 14th, and it was a blizzard over Minnesota when we showed this yesterday. And there's no more blizzard over Minnesota. They moved that low way up into Ontario. And we're getting a front here with some hefty rain, which was not even part of the plan yesterday. So you can almost throw this into the rubbish because of lack of consistency. I think we're just going to have another week, a lot like this week, where it's mostly warm and dry. And then if we put it into motion, take it out to day 10, which is now going to be Saturday, November 16th. And there's the best news here, I think, is that the blue lines there, that's cold. It is pretty much wall-to-wall cold in Canada, and there's a chance that that cold is going to settle south, but so different than how it looked yesterday, isn't it? I guess yesterday when I said all that rain that was along the east coast would miss us, now it's adjusted farther west and north. But yesterday when I said it would miss us, if it was farther west and north, it was a chance it could have been snow. And now the cold is so much farther removed from New England, well, until about this image right here, that it would be just rain, although mixed with snow, possible next Thursday. So we've had Thursdays as the most interesting day, haven't we, for the longest time, where Thursday seems to be a day where there's a front and a chance of some precipitation. And what seems to be the rhythm is you get these cold highs come in, you have a day or two of freezing, and then you go to record warm, and then you get a day or two of freezing, you go to record warm. Now, as you get to late November, you would think that perhaps some of that would change, and you get into something that looks more positive for snow, like we had way back on October 14th, but there's none of that. Head west for the snow if you want to go some early season, really nice skiing. New Mexico and Colorado, and the very tallest mountains of Washington and Oregon. I'm not sure that Montana and Wyoming is doing as well. So Colorado and New Mexico is where you want to go skiing. Here in the Northeast, look at that. Out there in the Wessagusset dock. Someone planted a flag on the picnic table. Who did that? The southwesterly winds. Kind of annoying. I want winter too. The Inmore yesterday, kind of coming out and looking at the sky waves and deep diving on how waves behave in the water and the sky. And then going down and chasing the sunset as we do. You got to get out of the view of these trees. Went down to the shelf again and looked at the sun going down. It's moving further south every night, and the moon is higher in the sky now, but I thought that might have been Saturn next to the moon. It was Venus next to the moon last night. So the moon is going to be a little farther up and left from where it was with Venus last night. But the sun is going down, and the moon is going to go down tonight around 8 o'clock, and then it's going to come back up tomorrow, and we're going to keep going round and round. So let's try and focus on the good. Our pets, nature, one another, share the love, and make it a good week. Yeah, cats and dogs and humans all getting along. We like that. Get out of here. This is a little bonus pre and more of Steve and T-Rex and the sunshine. And more. 11:30. T-Rex knows that I just finished finishing out the door, and he gets to go out the door for his midday. I have to go out the door several times a day around here. Steve always is happy to see us after he spends so much time outdoors. Wow, it's warm. It's warmer than they said, and he's a little stuck right here. So easy to get stuck, isn't it? But at least you were stuck next to the catmint, which looks like I can prune down, doesn't it? Keep this going fresh. See, look at all that green stuff. I have a feeling this is going to be something that I never have to replant. This is actually a couple years old. Eggplants are still coming. Who likes eggplants? Not too many people I know. Tough to get rid of the eggplants. Gorgeous burning bush. And leaves are hanging on longer than I thought. Look at that. The sky has just totally turned blue. And along with the water. Oh, Steve likes that. The fact that I cut it for him. Oh, yeah. It's better than coffee, huh? Oh, Steve. Yeah, don't take that. Don't take that away from me. I want that. I want that. Nice breakfast. Uh-oh. Where'd T-Rex go? How's that rose doing? Yeah. It's gone by naturally. This one's going to open. That one's good. That one's getting just a little bit of sun. T-Rex, where'd you go? I gotta find Rex. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Rex? Rex, where you going? Hey. Where do you think you're going? Get back up here. Stop. Rex, turn around. Show the people that I have some control over you. Rex, this way. Some control, not complete control. Stop. All right, so he's kind of stopped. No, Rex, stop. Turn yourself around. Yeah, we're out in the forest now. Might as well be, huh? Go back up those stairs. Good boy. So cute how he goes up, huh? 2 feet at a time. Rex. Oh, now he goes to 1 foot at a time just to make me look bad. Go ahead, Rex. Let's go. Let's go. There it goes. Hop, 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 hop. Lots of fun smells here. That's a Japanese knotweed, and it's almost impossible to get rid of. Not only do the roots stick around, it reseeds itself. And some of these, the flowers that have gone by, I think are used for medicine, but there's way more knotweed than you'll ever need. Knotweed you don't need. People call it bamboo. It's thick in here, doesn't it? Good boy, Rex. Good boy. We are overachieving. It's in the low 70s. This boat just came in and did a U-turn. Decided to extend the season. Gorgeous. There's its wake from when it came in just a few minutes ago. Went over to there. Did a U-turn. I'm going back out. Forgot my keys on the dock again. I mean phone. I mean wallet. I mean, TK, you don't know what you're talking about. What a day. Okay, a boat just went by around the corner. Sorry I missed it, but it has left a nice wake. Waves, and there's a sailboat taking advantage of the 70-degree day. And so what it was a big heavy boat going through the water and creating these ripples. And you can see the ripples kind of even bouncing off the shore there. You can see the waves coming in and then reflecting back out into the water. And then there's the flag with the air moving, flag making the waves, and then up in the sky we've also got an illustration of the air. It's called warm air advection, and it's stronger way up than down low. And sometimes you get waves perpendicular to the flow, and sometimes you get waves parallel to the flow. And then right over our head today, just gorgeous cirrus waves. And this often happens out well ahead of storm systems. When the low clouds come in, they're cumulus. Those are cold air advection clouds. And these are warm air advection clouds. Often you will end up with some precipitation, and maybe we will get some. And right in the middle here, we have some anthropogenic clouds, some condensation trails. That's that line through the middle of the cirrus. And then you've got all kinds of contorted waves right there. Look at that. Looks like some kind of something you'd see under a microscope or way out in deep space. Yes. Khalil Gibran says, I learned the secret of the ocean by studying a dewdrop. Yeah, Tim, sure, whatever. And then there's a lobster fisherman checking the pots as the sun starts to go over the horizon on the close of election season 2024. So that was the north side of the house. Now I'm onto the south side of the house, where it's even warmer, and our bees are back. The bees are back in the warm air. Some tiny ones, some bigger ones, and also ones that look like hornets. And I know that yellow jackets are hornets, although that's not a yellow jacket. That one looks like a yellow jacket. And again, I'm not a biologist. You go to college, you study something, you become an ologist. Meteorologist. Anything falling towards Earth is a meteor, including a leaf. You can make a leaf into a meteor. There it is, meteor, and then when it hits, it's called a meteorite. And boy, they are busy bees right now. And tonight, whatever's trying to get through this pumpkin may make it. And they like to eat the seeds. Seeds are food. And with all that, TK deep thoughts. Setting sun here at 4:25 p.m. A couple days ago, it went right between the towers. Like 3 days ago? And now it's going right behind the east tower. As the sun gets lower, but just as beautiful every day. And the sounds of traffic. Car waves, sky waves. I'd love to show you the sound, or play for you the sound of some crickets, but there's a lot of traffic this evening. Got the crickets now. Beaver Moon. Power lines. Saturn. Post-sunset sky waves. Wind. Wind. Wind, it's the real thing. Cherry. Because the garbage can is so hard to find. Walked up the hill, same night, a little later, dub in the sound of some real crickets.